Welcome Portland State University President Stephen Persy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to beautiful downtown Portland, Oregon, and to Portland State University. We're delighted to have the mayor, business leaders, and others on our campus today, and what a beautiful day to be together. Over the last year and a half, all of us have grappled with new challenges, including but not limited to pandemic response and advancing racial justice. I believe these challenges have made us wiser and stronger, and by us I mean everyone here at Portland State University, and I mean in the society, the community, the civic life embodied in Portland. I'm grateful to the essential workers and the scientists in our community and on our campus who have moved us forward through this pandemic period and allowed us to come together today in a safe space. It's fitting to me that as Portland State University celebrates its 75th anniversary as an institution, Portland State will be able to contribute to the reemergence of downtown by bringing back as many as 25,000 people to downtown at the start of the fall term. Faculty, staff, students, employees, and guests and visitors. And I can't tell you, they're waiting to get back. They're very eager. And when we come back, we want to share ideas. We want to work to solve problems. We want to strive for social justice and to end racist practices. We want to create innovative solutions to the challenges of climate change and the ravages of homelessness, and to contribute substantially to positive change for the greater good of Portland. In the last 75 years, Portland State has gone from a small startup serving GIs returning from World War II to become Oregon's most diverse, innovative research university. That's a lot of change in 75 years, and wait till you see the next 75. I want everyone to know that Portland State sees downtown Portland as its home. We cherish our location here for the advantages it provides us as a central location to pursue community engagement. We're an anchor institution, we're here for the long run, and we're committed to bringing our knowledge and expertise to propel Portland forward as a premier urban community. Our campus occupies some 50 acres at the south end of downtown, and we take to heart our motto, let knowledge serve the city. We are here for Portland. It is my deep hope that every other institution in the downtown area and in Portland joins in this great work to revitalize and regenerate the fantastic community that we have in Portland. I'd like to introduce to you our School of Business, Cliff Allen, who has been working closely with the City of Portland and our local businesses on revitalization of downtown to add to the context that we're here to discuss today. Cliff?
Hi everyone, welcome to the Carl Miller Center at PSU, home of the Business School. I'm Cliff Allen, the Dean of the Business School, and I do want to start by saying that every great city deserves a great university. The wonderful city of Portland has that university, and it's PSU. What PSU brings to the Portland core that no one else can, as President Persy said, is 25,000 people coming here the last week of September. Faculty, staff, and students are all looking forward to coming back to the campus after 16 months of being gone. It's a great shot in the arm for the city, but it brings with it a little bit of responsibility for that group. The health and safety of our community is paramount to having a vibrant university, and vibrant is a key word because every university should be vibrant for our students. But literally, of the 25,000, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of students coming to the university for the first time. This is their first exposure to Portland. And so we want to make sure that it's a positive one so that they stay and thrive in this environment. PSU can't leave its location. Our success is dependent on the local prosperity of business and nonprofits in the metro region. We look forward to working together to make this fall a success like no other we've experienced. I want to thank the Mayor's Office for the creation of the action tables to address the city's needs. We at PSU are participating in all of them and look forward to the implementation of their ideas. Suffice it to say, PSU is here for Portland. I would like to hand it off to Mayor Wheeler.
Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you all for being here. I hope this isn't too difficult duty to have to stand here and look at this beautiful view in this incredible weather that we're experiencing here in Portland. And I particularly want to thank President Persy and Dean Allen. Thank you so much for hosting us here today, and thank you for your commitment to the action tables and all that you do for the community. And Dean Allen, looking at this school, this is a world-class business school, and you are justifiably proud for what you have here in the community. Today we continue to celebrate the resilience, the creativity, and the spirit of Portlanders. Just 18 months ago, a global pandemic changed everything for all of us. City Hall and city bureaus worked in partnership to ensure and adapt to the necessary public health guidelines to keep us all safe from the spread of COVID-19. From household assistance to new shelters, to small business relief, to food security, to enhancing digital equity, the city worked around the clock to stabilize our community, especially those who are hardest hit by the pandemic. Today, the city continues its role to support the vision and the efforts of our broader community, helping to adapt to this new phase that we're entering. I want to give a special shout out and a thanks to all of our essential workers on the front lines and to Oregonians' respect for science and community health. As a result of that, Multnomah County now has over 70% of adults 18 or over who are fully vaccinated. Our state has over 65% of adults over 18 who are vaccinated. We're here to applaud our state, our county, and our city's ability to adapt and come back stronger than ever. It's because of the hard work of thousands of our families, our friends, our neighbors, and our fellow Oregonians that we're able to stand here today together in person. We're here this morning to get out the word about this weekend's incredible lineup of events that highlight our message to the community, saying, welcome back to the heart of Portland. Earlier this year, my administration launched the Portland Action Tables. This is a group of roughly 300 community members dedicated to championing Portland's future that we convened early on this year. They've been working hard to help the city identify policy changes, propose specific and actionable outcomes, specific investments, and to form partnerships, all in the interest of rekindling our economic recovery and reopening our vibrant city. And my administration continues to support these action tables. For example, to make this weekend happen, we helped event organizers find locations and secure permits quickly. We added a mobile COVID-19 vaccination site, which will be located at Pioneer Courthouse Square for the weekend. We also identified $30,000 in my administration's budget that we were able to use for sponsorship for community activations this weekend. Which brings us to the central reason why we're all standing here today. We're inviting everyone in our community to come celebrate the reopening of downtown and to experience all that the heart of Portland has to offer. The weather forecast is about what we have here today. In other words, it's ideal, somewhere in the mid-80s, and our Welcome Back to the Heart of Portland event is a weekend packed with free, family-friendly activities, local food, art, and music to help us all celebrate together as a community, something we've all been longing to do over these long, long months. Highlights include free concerts from a variety of artists along Waterfront Park, a pop-up market at Southwest 10th and Yamhill, and a light display on the Morrison Bridge. We're also holding a ribbon cutting to mark the official opening of the new food cart pod located on West Ankeny, now called the Cart Blocks, which my administration has been heavily involved in from the get-go. There will also be a sing-along with Pink Martini at Pioneer Courthouse Square on Saturday afternoon. So those of you who've been missing your karaoke, come to Pioneer Courthouse Square and sing along with Thomas Lauderdale and Pink Martini. I want to encourage everyone to take this weekend to get out and enjoy all that Portland has to offer. Our robust local economy is the lifeblood of our city. Let's all join in what promises to be a truly dynamic, inspiring, and healing celebration this weekend. It's now my pleasure to turn this over to Michelle David, co-chair of the Portland Recovery and Events Activation Table. Michelle David, co-chair, thank you for being here and thanks for your leadership.
Thank you, Mayor.
Appreciate it.
Good morning. My name is Michelle David, co-chair of the Portland Recovery and Events Activation Table. I serve in this role along with Katie Meyer, woo, who is the tireless chief of staff to Commissioner Mingus Mapps and enjoys helping out the city of Portland recreationally as well. Super amazing. A bit about the activation table. We have about 200 people who meet at the events activation table. About once every 2 weeks, we get together, we discuss best practices, discuss areas to get funding, lessons learned, what we hope to achieve. And we come together as a community of people who are all passionate about bringing together our city for different kinds of sports, music, performing arts, food and drink, wine, everything that makes Portland fun, to be honest. And as somebody who has been working for decades in the event industry, most passionately with the Portland Winter Light Festival, which is one of the few events which happened both in 2020 and in 2021, I am aware of the transformative magic of coming together and seeing other people, seeing people in person, and celebrating light and art and community together. This activation table contains event organizers, artists, musicians, entertainers, venue managers, and community advocates working together and with the city to create a safe, healthy, and inclusive reopening. I also want to thank the mayor and his team, city council, and many of our city bureaus, especially the Bureau of Transportation, Parks and Recreation, and our City Arts program for supporting the activation table's efforts. Their openness to collaborate, to listen to new ideas, and to find new ways for all Portlanders to come together in this new world is deeply, deeply appreciated by everybody in the event community. And it is because of these partnerships that we're able to have this weekend's lineup of almost 20 events to help welcome people back to the heart of Portland. And now you will be hearing from some of the leaders of specific events from the coming weekend to give you a glimpse of what you can expect to enjoy this weekend. And with that, I'm going to hand it off to Keith Jones with Friends of the Green Loop to discuss the very exciting food cart opening that we've got coming up. Keith?
Thank you, Michelle, and thank you, Mayor Wheeler. My name is Keith Jones. I'm the Executive Director of Friends of Green Loop. And for context, the Green Loop is a 6-mile linear park that goes around the city. And today I'm here to announce the return of an iconic food cart pod to the heart of Portland. 2 years ago, we lost the Alder Street Food Cart Pod, which was the largest and oldest food cart pod in the downtown area. It was home to 55 small businesses that were mostly immigrant owned. And so as Portland grows, the places that these food carts find home, which are parking lots, will be more and more sparse. And so we looked to find a place that we could make these carts safe and thrive. And that's where I got involved, and we looked to the Green Loop. And so working with the city, we identified a section of the Green Loop between the North Park blocks and the South Park blocks that we could put food carts in the right of way. This has never been done before. And so it has taken a lot of time and a lot of effort to figure out how to do this and how to do it right. But also, this will provide some connective tissue between the North Park blocks and the South Park blocks that has been missing. And so these cart blocks, which we now call them, will help provide that connective tissue and also bring back businesses and tourists to the downtown area. So we're starting with phase 1, which is a little park off of Burnside called Ankeny West, which has been sitting there for a long time. And we've got food carts, 18 of the food carts from the Alder Street Food Cart Pod are surrounding the perimeter. And then the interior of the park, over the next few months, we will develop. My nonprofit will run this, and the proceeds from these food carts, from the rent, will go back into capital improvements to that park. And so this is just the first stage. It will not be the same as Alder Street. It's a beginning, though. Alder didn't happen overnight, and neither will this. But this is a true community effort. And thanks to the mayor and the money he put into infrastructure, we're off and running, and we're working really hard right now to get this up and running for the grand opening, which will be on Saturday, July 24th at 1:30 p.m. All of the cart owners are down there cleaning out their carts, painting, getting it ready. We were there till 11:30 last night getting ready. So we're going to be working right to the last minute, getting this cleaned up and ready for you all to come down and see. So we're really excited about it. Thank you. I'd like to introduce Kate Merrill from the Central East Side next. Thank you.
Thanks, Keith. My name is Kate Merrill. I'm the Executive Director of Central East Side Industrial Council. We're the business association for the area just east of the Willamette River. We are actually going to be hosting an event, volunteer cleanup event with Solve on Saturday at 10 a.m. Yay, Solve! We love Solve. We do these events once a month. We would love to have you come with your families. That's actually one of my kids' favorite things to do. It's going to be at Revolution Hall between 10 and 10:30 is the sign-up time. We would love to have you sign up online first. It makes it a lot easier. It's a great way to meet your neighbors, to rediscover your neighborhood, and just really give back to the community. The other thing I want to encourage you to do is just to stay in the area, support your local businesses. They need you now more than ever. We are home to some of the most beloved restaurants, stores, bars, makers in Portland. And we also have our own beach, the Audrey McCall Beach, where you can go swimming. We have OMSI. And we also have 2 new mural corridors that appeared over the pandemic under the Morrison Bridge and Hawthorne Bridge. So just come out, enjoy, and rediscover your neighborhoods. There's also Solve events all around Portland this weekend, too. So you can also pitch in at home. With that, I'm going to turn that over to DJ OG1. So. All right.
Thank you. Again, I'm David Jackson. Most people know me as DJ OG1, the official DJ for the Portland Trail Blazers. And I am the founder of PDX Hip Hop Collective, which is a collective group of people that are in the culture of hip hop here in Portland. And we've been working together throughout the pandemic to find creative ways to bring hip hop community together, to start networking more together and start building even better relationships within the city, with the city and its associated agencies as well. And so we are really happy to be able to continue that work through this activation. And we're going to be throwing an event this Saturday. We have this thing that we've been doing called Meeting of the Minds. And what it is, again, we get creatives together across the city that love hip hop in its various expressions and find ways, again, to build. So we've been doing it virtually throughout the pandemic. So we're excited to be able to get everybody together face to face and just to, be together, do something positive, and continue the relationship in preparation for our event that's going to be in August, our weekly celebration of Hip Hop Week, which again has been supported by the city, and we appreciate that as well. So this just gives us a chance to prep for that. And so I have one of our PDX Collective members that's going to give you a little more details than I can give you for Saturday's event. Here's Lee Goddess.
Thank you, OG1. So I have my notes here to make sure I don't forget anything. But hello, my name is Lee Goddess. I am co-owner of Rated O Records along with Big Wino. I'm also a member of the PDX Hip Hop Collective. And so, like DJ OG1 was saying, in the last 16 months, all of our Meeting of the Minds meetings have been done through Zoom. So this will be our first one now that Portland is reopening. This is going to be the first one that we're going to be able to actually meet in person. So the event is called Meeting of the Minds. The address of the event is 223 Southeast 3rd Avenue. It is an outdoor lot. So our goal is to create networking opportunities for aspiring artists, dancers, and musicians through connection and community service. We are also going to be doing a cleanup of the area in hopes of making that area safer for residents and businesses in the area. There will be music, there will be water, snacks, it is an all ages event as well. So whether you want to pick up a broom or pick up a mic or just bring a chair and come hang out, that's basically what we want to do for the celebration of the opening of Portland, and everybody is invited. So I would love to see each and every one of you there. So thank you. Yeah, I don't know who's next.
I guess I need no introduction, huh? First of all, my name is Pee Wee Harrison, and I'm the founder of I Choose Love. I want to thank all these individuals that are up here, because without you, the city wouldn't be coming back together in such a strong surge. Thank you, Mayor, for coming out and doing what you do. Sam, and Sam too. I told Sam he looked cleaner than the Board of Health this morning. He's looking so good. So we have a very exciting event coming up this weekend, and I want to give it to the man who does all the talking for me and about me, Dr. Ray Leary.
Part of that is true. I'll let you just dissect what part of that is not. First, again, we'd like to thank all of the sponsors, everyone who has been working behind the scenes to make this moment possible. Just on a bit of history, I think we would be remiss if we did not recognize that the 75 years that Portland State enjoys began as Vanport College. And it was through those who came to work in our shipyards and those returning veterans that were the first enrollees in Vanport College. They too were the Vikings. And what it more importantly brought, not only Portland State University, but it brought the first inflush of diversity into this city. So we always honor Vanport College when we recognize Portland State as well. In many languages, the word for crisis and opportunity share the same term. And if we didn't learn anything last year, we found out the hard way that God's country, Portland, Oregon, is not permanent. It can change. And it's not just Portland, Oregon, it's our home. And the first thing you protect is home. So we are proud to be a part of this effort. We know that if any change is going to take place, it's going to take place in the heart. And Pioneer Square is the heart of our city. Downtown is the heart of our city. So we feel that it's appropriate to celebrate the comeback of Portland in its living room. On Sunday at 3 o'clock, I Choose Love will be there, and you will be treated to some of the most outstanding gospel music you will find on the coast. The Fabulous Brown Sisters, who coined the tune, I Choose Love. And it's our job to make that the theme song of Portland, the theme song of our comeback. So Sunday afternoon in the living room of Portland, Oregon, I Choose Love will be there, and we need all of you to join into the harmony as we announce the theme song for the comeback of Portland, Oregon. Thank you much. I know there's somebody coming behind me.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, my name is Monique Claiborne. I'm the president and CEO of Greater Portland Inc. and the co-chair of the Business Success and Action Table, along with Peter Andrews and Melvin Mark, who's here as well. Today truly marks a milestone in the city's recovery. And it's not that we're one step closer to what the city used to be, but really we're one step closer to imagining a future city that's inclusive and prosperous for everyone. It may seem a little strange today that we're celebrating and have a weekend full of activities when there's still a lot of work to be done. And I can tell you on behalf of one volunteer and the numerous volunteers on the mayor's action tables that we understand the hurdles and the challenges that are ahead. And we also are aware that success usually doesn't come in one swell swoop, right? It's many small victories. And today truly is a small victory for the city. I mean, if you look around, you can already see that downtown Portland is a lot more vibrant than it was months ago, right? And so today, we honor all the hard work that all the volunteers have been doing for the last couple of months, but then it also signals not only to the city and the families and the residents here, but it signals to the region and the state and even the nation that there's a lot more to offer, or Portland has a lot more to offer to businesses that are interested in the region, residents and families here, and those that are considering coming here too. So thank you, Mayor. And everyone, we look forward to seeing you around the city this weekend. Thank you.
Turn the machine on. That's how it works. All right, we're going to open it up for questions. Please let us know who your question is for, and then identify yourself and ask the question. Okay.
All right, Elizabeth Coyne, my question is for the mayor. We just had a mass shooting downtown. Business owners tell us they don't feel safe here anymore. What's your message to people who don't feel safe coming downtown? Is downtown safe?
My message is this. Portland's been through a rough spell. There's still work to do. We've turned a corner. There was a recent poll conducted by DHM Research. It was actually conducted in May, and I believe things have actually improved since May. But the poll showed that over the prior 30 days, people who had visited Portland, downtown, the central city, felt twice, well, they agreed twice as much with the statement that Central City, Portland is a safe place to visit. So in encouraging people to come downtown, we're understanding that there is still work to do, but a lot of work has been done, and people are safe if they come to downtown Portland.
Okay, Joe?
Everybody sees downtown Portland as its home. When you get a fight people into your home, you usually want to clean up the place pretty good first. You walk downtown, you still see boarded up windows, graffitis, tents blocking the sidewalks, filling the parks. Did we do a good enough job to celebrate reopening? Should we have waited a bit? Should we have cleaned it up?
This is an important waypoint. People are already coming to downtown. Businesses are reopening. Employees are coming back to the central city. Tourism is up. We're seeing more activation at the street level. Anybody who tried to get a reservation in a restaurant in the central city last weekend knows that people are definitely coming to downtown. We're hearing reports from the Travel and Tourism Agency that the hotels are starting to fill. And so this is an important and positive waypoint. People report to me every day that they see improved conditions around livability, around the situation with litter and graffiti. In part, that's because we significantly increased the budget for graffiti removal and litter collection, and a lot of those resources are just coming into the field now. When it comes to safety, we're not seeing some of the regular vandalism, criminal destruction, and violence that we saw just a few months ago. That means there are more police being redeployed to their precincts, and they're now walking around and they're more visible on the streets. That certainly has a positive impact, and I'm working with all of my colleagues on the City Council in partnership with the county and others to do everything we can to get as many people off the streets who are homeless as quickly and humanely as possible. So I encourage people to come this weekend. What they'll see is a real city in transition, but with positive momentum and a lot of good things happening. And that's what we want people to see. I'm sorry? Oh yeah, please. Yeah. Just reintroduce yourself.
Yeah, sure. Keith Jones, Friends of Green Loop. I just want to say that I was down at Ankeny West, the food cart pod it's a park that's off of Burnside. And me and the food cart owners were down there till 11:30, 12 o'clock last night. I walked it with the city to replace lights, to look at where, there was a deficiency of lights. We were cleaning the area around it. Graffiti is being removed as we speak right now from that park, and the fences are coming down. That park has sat fenced for maybe 2 years, and I've gone back on Google Maps to see how far that park has been empty. It's been a long time. So part of making it safer is to reactivate and getting people downtown and having activity of people walking by and seeing things. I mean, there's a flurry of activity happening at Ankeny West right now. And up until 11:30 at night, you heard people cleaning their carts and cleaning the areas around it. So it's happening. It's just you got to put in the elbow grease.
Okay, Rosemary Reynolds, KXL. Okay.
We're certainly monitoring and meeting with public health officials and medical professionals, and we'll continue to seek their advice and follow it.
Okay, we'll do one more question. Go ahead. Okay.
So there was mention in this about the vision for the city of Portland, right? And that this might not be the city that would be this is really for anybody. What is the hope here that what would Portland look like here as
I'll let somebody else take a swing at that. Well, I'll start, and frankly, I think it would be great to hear some community voices. But I'll give you my take on this. Everything changed in the last 18 months. There have been broad social movements around racial justice and equity, which means as we emerge from the pandemic, as we restart the economic engine of our city, we have to consider how our community is going to be more inclusive and equitable going forward. And that's why these action tables have all focused on equity and inclusion as a fundamental issue. Same with the city council and our budget. And as we look at everything we're doing around public safety, around addressing homelessness, even as we look economic prosperity and job creation, we're thinking differently about how to be more inclusive of people who have historically been excluded from some of those conversations. So that's probably fundamental to our city, our state, and our nation going forward. Additionally, as was mentioned, we understand that progress isn't always one way. Progress can be stymied, progress can even be set back, and we have to plan and prepare for those eventualities. Third, over the last year, this city has experienced an unprecedented number of crises. A year ago, did anybody predict 116 degrees in the city of Portland, Oregon? That was the largest mass death event in the history of this city. And so now we know it can happen, and we know that with climate disruption going forward, these kinds of events are going to become more common, and we now have a moral and a leadership obligation to be prepared for those kinds of events. The same thing we learned from the pandemic. We're on the Delta variant. The reason they give them different alphabetical names is because they're not presuming Delta is the last one. There could be more. And so again, what our action tables have done and what this administration has done is made it easy for people to get vaccinated. If you want to be vaccinated, we will have that opportunity available for people this weekend. I'm vaccinated. I don't say that to brag. I say that to let people know what I'm asking others to do, I'm doing myself. I strongly encourage people to please get vaccinated for your own protection, for your loved ones' protection, as well as those in our community who cannot yet get vaccinated, including every child under the age of 12. So those are just some of the things that come to mind, but I'd love to hear from some other folks what their aspirations for the community are going forward. Thank you for doing that.
No problem. I think one of the greatest things about Portland is that it's a people city. It's a people city, and we have been isolated and disconnected from each other. So, I know a lot of times that part gets lost in agendas and politics and things like that. So really the hope is really about connecting people, which is what this is all about. It's about the people. It's not about what we do in terms of activities. It's that these provide platforms for us to reconnect with each other. And I think just in seeing people's faces up front and close together and being able to, shake hands or high five, whether you have a mask on or not, I think just being in the physical presence of people changes things. And so I know in general, I know I can speak for us as a collective. Our hope again is to connect people so we can start building as a city. As an entertainer, who has traveled around the country, one of the greatest things, compliments I get from other entertainers that come here, they often said, man, I like that, Portland feels like a hometown as opposed to a fast-paced city, dog-eat-dog city. And I think we've missed that over this pandemic period. And so my hope is that we get back to the most important thing and the most valuable thing about our city, and that's the people.
Thank you. Well said.
All right, that'll wrap it up for the question and answer session. We're going to wrap this whole thing up here. I want to thank everybody in the community that made it out here today, the members of the media, mayor, and everybody in the action tables. And let's all welcome everybody back to the heart of Portland tomorrow, starting tomorrow and through the weekend. Thanks.
And beyond.
And beyond.
Forever.
My bad. Yeah, and then stop coming.